Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Face Strange Fake episode number 8 reaction. So the previous episode we got two new characters. One was what was her name? Hill I forgot her name. But you know that girl, the new girl who summoned Berserker, and she's here along with Philia. Now there's one mistake I made in the previous episode. I thought Philia and the one connected to Ayaka, the Ainsman homunculus, were different homunculuses. So I thought there was like two of them. One was like the one connected with Ayaka, who we saw in the very first, or not the second episode, and then there was Philia. Turns out they're the same person. So right, I I kind of forgot. I didn't like remember her face from episode 2. I forgot her face, so I mixed it up. Either way, now it's clear to me that they're both the same, which makes it even more interesting because now she has a goddess inside of her, like, so all that stuff. Either way, we'll probably get to see more of them in the future. So yeah, I guess we'll see. And then we also got a proper introduction for the Lancer guy, who is called Sigma, and yeah, and we saw a few other stuff happening, like Richard forming a proper alliance with Sigma and everyone, and stuff like that. Either way, let's see what happens in today's episode, and yeah, let's get started. So now, like I said before, no subtitles, only the timer will be given. So timer will be provided here. Sync your original video to the timer and watch it alongside my reaction. So yeah, let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Is that flat? Right. Damn. Yeah. Oh no. No, stop. Yeah, exactly. You think this is how people dress up here? Like what? Oh my god. Ah. Hmm. Damn. Got an actual sword now. Right. God damn. Camping in the trees. Uh Mm. Right. Right. Oh wait. Oh no. Did she? Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, he made it for. I remember, like, which episode was it? The show second son in the family of men. Ah. I'm gonna glorify it. Damn. Oh, really? Ah. Right. Okay. Who is he? Book the original own interpretation. Damn. That wannabe, yeah. Wait, I couldn't. I think that was a sign, right? Damn. Unexpected bruises. This is because of the rider. Yeah. You. Okay, that was his plan. You're exactly right. Damn, they even know that. Yeah, that's Jack. Oh wait, is. Oh no 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 no. Uh, yeah, I think he said it before. He just wants proper food and a place to sleep. Oh my god. Hmm. To discover. Yeah. Nah, I think he. Hmm. Okay, so wait, is this Jack? This is Jack. Oh. Oh. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Wait, what's going on? What? Wait, he can do that as well? Okay, that's new. I didn't realize Jack can do that. Yeah. Yeah. File a report? Oh, about the city. Yeah, okay, there you go. Oh, that's a sister. Right, okay. Yeah, you know the fog and everything on the city. Yeah. 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 Hmm. What? Hmm. Right. James. Oh my god. Big Ben London. Yeah. Waiver. What is waiver? Hmm. Waiver Velvet. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. 56-foot soldiers are active within 56. More in the base in the right. Actual forces. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Natural born mages. Use the daughter. Oh, I see. Hmm. Damn. Yeah, so they're like this mask. Oh, damn. Right. They're already making their move then. His situation is very similar to that girl. Hmm. Oh, nice. Ah, it's been a while we've seen this properly. Ooh, here we go. He's gonna call his assassin. Hmm. Damn. Yeah. Wow. Whoa, he immediately. He can probably. Yeah. Okay. Right. Literally. Okay. Right. Curious when it came up. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, his personality is kind of peculiar. I'll talk about it later. Ah, right. Hmm. Well, yeah. Hmm. Listen. Yeah. Okay, I'll talk about this. Oh my god, what the? Whoa, what's going on? What the hell? Wait. Yeah, wait, Cerberus? Okay. Okay. Well, Hmm. And there you go. That was today's episode. Right. So today's episode was a lot of information we got. Um, so first and foremost, there is okay. There's a few things I want to talk about. First and foremost, Flat making contact with Orlando, and literally telling him about the whole situation at the hospital, about how Subaki might be in danger, and how the servant that she's connected with might be the reason why a lot of things in Slowfield are going in this weird way, like so many weird things are happening, people just being those patches and just being like dead and zombified, those things kind of explained. And now they have kind of made an alliance, and they're going to go in and try to rescue Subaki. While all of this is happening, the information got leaked to that guy. What was his name? The Scradio guy. And now Alcadis and okay. So first and foremost, was that Cerberus? It looks like I no. I don't think that's Cerberus. It only has 3 heads. That's it. I think that's the only thing that it. How about it looks like. Okay, you know what? I don't know. It might be Cerberus, but it might not be. It might be just one of the mob character. Like those mob enemies, like FGO mob enemies that the characters in this anime are just summoning. But like I don't know. Either way, whatever this is, it looks like some sort of like a corrupted version of like a one of the those monster like creatures. Like I said, it might actually be Cerberus because it has 3 heads, but I feel like Cerberus would be way bigger. This looks like a smaller version. Like it's still pretty big, but I feel like Cerberus would be even way bigger. You know, uh, this looks like some kind of a puppy. Or maybe it's the angle that's making me think like that. Either way, yeah, Alcides is on top of it, and since the information got leaked, they are here to make trouble. Right, so that is what's happening with Flat. We also had a few other things. For example, the caster, the fake caster. Uh, okay, you know what? Let me check something. I'm pretty sure he signed his name. Where is that section? If I can decipher that sign, then I will know who this person is. When he gave that guy his the thing, the mechanical arm, he signed it. Where's that part? Okay, so here it is. That I can see the sign, but I cannot decipher anything. What the hell is this sign? Bro, if I could read it, I think I could have known who he is. I cannot even read the sign. What is that? Wait a minute. There's a D. I can decipher the D, U, and then something after that. M, and then I don't know what the rest of it is. I cannot read the first part of the name at all, but I think like the last part is DUM, and I don't know the rest of it. DUM, an author. I feel like if I just Google search, I'll be able to find who this is, but I won't do that. I feel like I'm gonna get spoiled then. Um, I cannot. DU. That's a D, right? I think so, at least. it has like a like this, so it's a D, then there's a U, and then there is, yeah. Or is that W? DUW? Is that M or a W? I don't know. Um, no clue. I thought maybe I would be able to know, but but author. I'm trying to remember author with D, DUW or DUM. It's not clicking. Anyways, either way, yeah, the sign is so crazy. I couldn't read it. Either way, whatever. Uh, I'm sure they'll reveal it sooner or later. But yeah, he was talking about, like, like about how he got inspired after. um oh, another thing, this means he's an author, like a modern, not modern I would say, but like a fairly more moderner version, of an author, like, because he was talking about how he read Hamlet, and someone else who wrote that Hamlet, and he loved that. So that means he's not one of the authors who is in the era of Shakespeare. Is way later than that. So that's why I was trying to think. But you know what? I my knowledge about authors and people who like stories and everything is not that much. I know a few, like, who are like the most popular ones. I know them, and that's it. That's the extent it goes. So I don't know. I feel like I probably wouldn't be able to guess the name unless or until they explicitly tell us, oh, like, no, this is this person. But either way, um right, so yeah, as he was saying that how he, like, loved, like, the Hamlet that he read, and then he read Shakespeare's version, which, as he says, that it was so crazy his leg almost gave up, and he was like, damn, this is a real one. But he also says that the one that inspired him was the rewritten one, that is the fake, you could say, the version. And hence, as he says, that it doesn't matter if it's fake, if the passion behind it is as much as a real one, it is as real to him as the, as a real one. And yeah, and it's like, like, and I, I agree. Like, this is another one of, I think I've mentioned this multiple times in multiple other anime reactions, but this is one of my most favorite, I guess you could say, quotes in anime. Like, it comes from Monogatari, where a character called Kaiki Deshu says that, like, sometimes the fake one is even more valuable than the real one, because the fake one, the amount of effort that the fake one puts to imitate the real one makes it more valuable than the real one. Like, it was one of the best quotes I have in, like, like, I really love this quote so much. And you know Caster says something very similar to that over here, as he says that the passion behind it is as much as the real one. So, where's that part? It ended up being one of my greatest inspirations. There you go. The passion packed in that was real. That's all. Right. And he says that you guys might be fake, but the passion your boss has is the real thing. So you guys will shine as well if you keep following that. Right. And there you go. So that was that section with Caster. Um, then I talked about Flat. I'll talk more about Flat and Orlando, that section. But before that, let me talk about a few other stuff. Let's talk about Sigma. So Sigma, he is, like, like, kind of trying to figure out, like kind of, because he has, like, Watcher with him, so he can see what's going on. So he realized that apparently Flat has, like, joined hands with Orlando, and they're planning on going into the hospital and saving Subaki. And he's like, I want to do that too, you know. And like I guess he doesn't really say I want to do that too, but the that guy, the pirate looking guy, I'm pretty sure he's a pirate because he tells him to call him a captain. So he tells him that, oh, what, you want to go and save her, but Sigma's like, I don't know, like I just like, yeah, like I haven't really felt anything anywhere in my life because of the way he was brought up and his upbringing and everything. So he's not even sure what he's feeling in this situation. And I guess that's the thing. Like, as they explained, the trials and tribulations that he will have to face will make him someone at the end of the like the whole thing. He will realize what his true calling is, and what type of like what is his true like goal or whatever, what he wants to be. And when he'll be able to realize that, he will be able to become a lancer. And that is why all these trials and tribulations, unless and until he understands himself and gains a personality and identity for himself, he won't be able to like establish an identity as a lancer, I guess. But yeah, either way. Okay. Now, okay, now another thing. Oh, we have that part as well where Assassin like kind of saw him, like, yeah, I guess she kind of saw him talking, right? Yeah, I think. Either way, or maybe she didn't really realize what was going on. Uh, but she grabbed Sigma, and asked him like, oh, what is your plan, what do you want to do, this and that, what do you believe in. And when Sigma was like, oh, I don't believe in anything, I don't believe in any god because I don't even know what god is. For us, like the way we were taught was that the people who run the country are our gods, but they're dead now. So I don't know what to believe in or what not. And she kind of understood. She was like, okay, I'm sorry, because like, as far as I can see, you're not someone who's lying. Like, you genuinely do not know what you want and what you should believe in. And in the end, she says that I would hope that at the end of the day, when you will understand yourself and when you will realize the path that you will choose will be the righteous one. I hope that is what happens at the end. Because like, as we are seeing, like, he is a blank slate now, kind of. So whatever will influence him and whatever will make him choose a path, it can be either it can be a good one or it could be a bad one. Like, so like, his path can go in any direction. But he's in company with good people. We have Richard, we have Ayaka here. This assassin lady also seems pretty like nice. um then we also have Enkidu with us. So, like I said, good company. Like, unlike freaking Scradio guy over there. Oh my god. Imagine if he came in contact with him, bruh. Life doomed. He'd walk the path of a freaking mafia gangster, you know. So yeah, he's in company of good people. So as a person who's learning and like trying to understand himself and trying to find an identity for himself, I think as long as he sticks with these guys, it will be fine. He will choose a good path, you know. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. Right. Okay. Now, another thing, the reason why he, as we can see, like, he can see that he actually wants to go and help Subaki. But you can probably say, like, the reason why he wants to do that, one of the biggest reasons, is because it probably reminds him of himself, like Subaki's situation. Because as they explained, her parents, like, kind of treated her like a person trapped in a cage, like an experiment or something. And now, like, she is with this servant inside of a dream or escape or whatever, but it feels like she's way more freer than she ever was. So you can see that she's enjoying like the current situation. Okay, one thing. I think they brought up they mentioned how her parents were also mages. What's that part? That is there in that section. Okay, here we go. Investigation report. So Yukaku Kuroka is the name of her dad. Additional info. Mage demonstrate master aptitude. Chosen form of magecraft is unknown. Reported to have obsessive interest in Maki. What? Maki? Oh my god. Okay. Well, current residence Snowver manages library in the. Oh, you know what? God damn, man. anyone who's anyone who's showing obsessive interest in Makiri should never be let close to a child. We know what happened with Sakura, if you remember. Like, good lord, these her parents are dead, right? I think. Like, as we saw, like they also have those patches in them, and they were like, thank God, I guess. Otherwise, this girl, okay, it would have been done. Her life would have been over. Good lord. Okay, demonstrates willingness to cooperate. No, daughter currently hospitalized. Likely caused by an accident during Magecraft. Right, okay. Oh my god. Okay, wait a minute. I cannot read anything from her mother's investigation report because it is underneath. But yeah, whatever. Okay, so wait a minute. Used her daughter as a subject for Magecraft experiments. So yeah, there you go. No wonder he's obsessive interest in Makiri. Okay, test subject for back magical circuit. Something called. I'm reading Subaki's report. You cannot read it properly because it's half of it is like covered, but enhanced bacteria. Experiments on her, which is magically enhanced bacteria. Right. Okay. Oh. Right. No wonder he has obsessive interest in Makiri. Like, they used to use worms, those crest worms or whatever the hell they are called, and these guys are using bacteria or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So right now that's that. We also got briefly to see what was his name, Faldius, right, and his servant assassin. Um, Now I'm still not sure who his servant is, but it does, like, there's an 60% chance it's one of the, like the old men of the mountain, um like Hassan. But I don't know, like the mask looks exactly like, like that, so it is probably one of them. But I don't know. Well, I guess unless and until they kind of reveal it, like, we cannot really jump into conclusions. But it looks like, the exact same mask, like, the Hassans wear, like, like the cursed arm Hassan. Um, yeah, like, I guess Hassan of Serenity has a different mask pattern, right? Wait a minute. Let me just double check. Oh no, no, same mask pattern. I was okay. I was remembering her third ascension or whatever. Yeah, same mask pattern. Like so, all of like the assassins, like the Hassans, they have like the same mask pattern. So it is one of them. I'm assuming. Either way, we kind of saw them talk with each other, and you can see how he's devoted to America, and he's like, oh yeah, for this country I can even hurt civilians. So you know that's that. Right, we had Flat coming in contact with um, what's his name? The church, the overseer. What's his name? Hansa or something? Hansa, right? Yeah. And he like was like, "Oh my God, you're a cyborg!" Yeah, yeah. And he's like, "Oh damn!" Like I'm glad that someone actually appreciates me. And they're like kind of hitting it off properly. Oh God. Right. So now another thing I want to talk about this part where we can see Flat talking. Now, okay, let's talk about Flat. At the very beginning of today's episode, you can see like in a little flashback Flat's parents, or I guess her family, was saying something like, someday that child is going to destroy the family magecraft. So, and you can see Flat is like trying to like put a smile on her face, a fake one. A child named Flat never existed to begin with. And then fast forward, he comes in contact with Waver, and Waver's like, "Oh, why are you smiling like that? Like that's a fake smile. Like your children shouldn't smile like that. Like just there we go. You mimetic muscles are moving in an order that ignores its intended. Why do you speak like this? You could have just said that. Why are you faking your smile? He's like scientifically explaining. Your mimetic muscles are moving in an order that ignores its intended functions. Okay. Only caring about the ends while neglecting the means. Ah, damn. That's an immature thought process. Yeah, so that's that. And then we get to see later on when he was talking with Berserker, and Berserker, like Jack, was like, why are you trying to save the girl? Now, I was also thinking, like, because this is what Jack was talking about, the disparity in him. Like, I also saw that disparity. Jack also saw that disparity. If you remember, multiple times, like Jack kind of joked around and said something along the lines of like, "Oh, it seems like even if you kill people, you'll probably act like this and be like, oh, I'm so sorry." Like that first episode when he like knocked out those guys, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And Jack is like, oh, I feel like I'll like like you'd probably say the same thing when you kill people as well. And a lot of other sections where you can see he has this very like, what can I say, lack of under not understanding, but I feel like he understands, but he has this very like logical way of kind of like judging, not judging everything, but looking at everything and judging and making decisions about, like, because the thing is, obviously being logical is nothing wrong in being logical, but when you are so logical that you're doing it at the expense of your emotions, then that makes you terrifying, you know like stuff like that. He I kind of saw, and I kind of believe that he was showing that type of like like personality where he's very, I guess you could say, like innocent in a way, logical, and that makes a few of those like sections where a way a certain person would react, like a normal person would react, he acts in a very cold and dry way, but at the same time is very innocent. So it's like, that's like a very disparity that I guess you could say, like, like Jack was talking about. Like, there's something within him that makes him feel extremely like cold hearted, but at the same time, you cannot say that he's doing that deliberately. He's just, like very innocent as well at the same time. It's like a very weird thing. I don't know how to explain it. Um, and that is why I was also surprised to see that he take this decision. He took this decision where he was like, "Oh yeah, let's go and save Tsubaki." So I had a similar like way of reacting, like Jack reacted. Jack was like, "Okay, I was not expecting this because you could, what's the problem? Like, about that girl, like, you were trying to go in and trying to save her, but you could have just ignored that, right?" At which Flat says that, "Oh, it's because that's how, like Lord El Meloy too would have reacted. That's how he would have acted in that moment. Like, I'm doing this because of my respect for him and how he would have done something like this in this moment. So that's why I'm doing that here." Okay, here's that part. Here we go. "Before I am a mage of the Escados family, I am Flat of the El Meloy class. Um, to abandon that child here is betraying Professor and all of my peers." Now, here's the thing. You can already see, like, it seems like when you listen to what he's saying, it seems like everything is like well and good. He's like, "Oh, like, yeah, I'm doing this because my professor would have done the same thing." But here's the scary part about this. Like, what, like, because he's genuinely doing this because this is what Waver would have done. But what if a certain time comes when he'll have to make a decision himself? How is he going to make that decision? Like, I don't know. Like, and the bigger question is, what decision is he going to make at that moment? So that thing, and that is what Jack also mentions later on, that Jack is like, as long as you keep going like this, everything will be okay. The disparity within you can be suppressed. Like, you will be walking the correct path. So, okay, you know what, I'm just going to read this part because this part is very interesting. "To abandon that child is betraying Professor and all of my peers. um I'm scared of doing that just as much as losing my purpose as a mage." Yeah, now obviously the way he looks up to Waver, the reason behind it is because, like, he was the first person who kind of, I guess you could say, gave him a sense of purpose when, his family was treating him like that. He got a place to belong to, and that is why he looks up to Waver like that. And he's like saying that this is what my master would have done, and hence I am also doing this because I feel like if I didn't do this, I would be letting him down, and I don't want that. you know so it's not that he's acting on his own morality. He's acting like this because, oh, it's a little girl, she is, like, she needs help, so I have to go and help her. Not because of that. It's because if he doesn't do that, he would be disappointing his, like, El Meloy to Waver, and he is scared of doing that. He's scared of, like, as much as he's scared of losing his purpose as a mage, he's scared of becoming someone who, like, Waver will not acknowledge, I guess you could say. Okay, so, okay, Jack says, "I see. If you say you're scared, I'm forced to understand." Hmm. And Mr. Jack, why don't you oppose? And here he says, "Oh, maybe because I was, like, kind of, like, inspired by you." And he's like, "Oh, then that means you were also inspired by Lord El Meloy because I'm doing this because of him. So you're also a student of him." And they're talking about all of these things. Okay, so yeah, makes you a student of the El Meloy class too. Here we go. "You harbor within you a great divergence from the world that you yourself aren't aware of." Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like I said, he's very innocent, you could say. And at the same time, his logical, the way he looks at everything is very logical and very cold and dry, you know. But you cannot blame him because he himself isn't aware of that. And he thinks that is normal. And he is very innocent in that way. I was terrified of that as well. Humans all live with a sense of divergence from this world somewhere within themselves. Hmm. But upon speaking with your mentor, I felt relief. There you go. And he's like, not for the fact that he is your mentor, it was because you felt a sense of reverence for how the said mentor lives his life. He's like, yeah, like the fact that, because Waver is a good person. He's like, the fact that you felt reverence for the way he lives his life makes me feel like morally you are in the correct path now. You know, as long as you have that spirit, you will always be able to overcome the divergence within yourself. As long as you are, like, yeah, there you go. Anyways, and then like we get interrupted by Arcades and all that. So right. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to discuss about this session. Like I said, Flat is very interesting. Like as Jack says, that he somewhere in him there's this great divergence, and like the scary part about this is that he himself isn't aware of like this whole thing. There's a lot of sections where you can see how he is very emotionally, I guess you could say, not developed as much as a lot of other people are. A lot of, in the different situations, the emotions that normal people would feel, he'd probably not feel that, and he would try to use cold hard logic in those places. And it always becomes problematic when in situations where situations should be dealt emotionally, you know if you use logic in that, it becomes a bit, I don't know what to call it. It becomes a bit scary. Like, like logic is very important, obviously, in most situations. But there are certain situations where you shouldn't use logic. You should use your emotions. And in those sections, he uses logic, and he uses this way. And as like as Jack says, the scary part about this is that he does this unknowingly, and he himself isn't aware of that. So that's why I'm saying emotionally he is kind of less developed than other people. But like, that means that he's still kind of, I don't know, like growing emotionally as well. And yeah, so it's like it's a situation like it. He really reminds me of, if you have seen Hunter x Hunter, he really reminds me of Gon a lot. Like, because like, if you have watched, like, like the anime, like the full anime, you will know there's a certain section where Gon's emotional, like, what can I say, like disparities brought up, where he has this very interesting, like, innocence in him, where he like acts with very, like, like with a lot of curiosity about a lot of things without looking at the moral implications of what he's doing. Like, I remember there was a scene in Hunter x Hunter where there was a certain situation where a certain person was saying like something wrong they're going to do, and Gon was very fascinated by it, not because like he's evil or anything, but because it was a thing that it was new to him, and he was very curious and fascinated about it. But this thing was morally wrong, you know so that's like, Flat is like that in a way, you could say. you know but as Jack says, the thing about Flat is, because he has been influenced by Waver, and because he looks up to the way of life that Waver is living, Jack is saying that you're on the right path currently. If you keep going in this path, a day will come when you'll be able to like overcome this divergence within you. As long as you keep going on this path, and the fact that you're fascinated by like Waivers and you look up to him like this, that's good, because at the end of the day, Waver is a good person and he's making him his role model, so that's good. Like I said. So yeah, either way, that was like the whole thing I wanted to talk about, like like the flat section. I wanted to talk about this. Right. Now, is there anything else that is left to discuss in today's episode? Wait a minute. No, most of the today's episode was about Flat, you could say. Like, we also saw how Flat is, crazy good at magecraft and all that. And then we saw like Jack as well in action. All those things. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Is there anything else? No. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. That was today's episode. So currently, Alcides and they are like on their way to the hospital, while we have Clan Calatin, Orlando over there. Flat is also there, kind of, like on their own mission to rescue Subaki. And I'm assuming um, Sigma is also on his way, because you can see Sigma in the end decides to go, or it seems like that the section implies that Sigma is going to go and try to help the kid. And for that, as you can see, like the pirate dude tells him that, oh, you're going there, like you're going to throw your life away. But then he decides to go and ask help from Richard and Ayaka. And he tells them that, oh, I might know where this vampire is. And yeah, so that's, yeah, so like I said, I think they will also be on their way to the hospital. So, we'll probably see them as well over there. Either way, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So there you go. That was it. That was my reaction to episode number 8 of Fate Strange Fake. Yeah, another good episode. Looking forward to the next one. The next one will probably have a lot of action, because we'll be seeing like Alcides fight Clan Calatin and all that stuff. We'll see. Right, so yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.